What a game! One of the games of the year, possibly in the NHL. This could potentially be one of the best games in the year across the NHL. Hawks win 5-4 in overtime over the Washington Capitals. And miraculously, the Hawks sweep the Washington Capitals in both games this season. Can you believe that? At this point in the season, the Washington Capitals are one of the best teams in the league, and the Hawks just swept them, winning both games in about the span of 2 weeks. Now, our game against the Flames that was supposed to be the first game of this homestand got postponed. Calgary's having issues with COVID-19. It's back. And, so that game is now postponed. We now have the Capitals in our next game, and the trend continues. I don't know what's going on with Derek King, but he just cannot seem to get a streak. How long has this streak been going of losses and wins? This is unbelievable. This is the 12th game that has been alternating win and loss, starting all the way back nearly a month ago against the Edmonton Oilers, where we lost. We then have now subsequently won and then lost for the next 11 games. I don't understand how that happens. Enough about that. Let's talk about the game. For a game like this, surprisingly, the first period had pretty much nothing going on, as it was a save battle between Samsonov and Fleury, so we'll go ahead and skip on to the second period. This second period had pretty much everything, and it starts a couple minutes in with Alexander Ovechkin doing a signature blast from the point on the power play. Past Fleury, and it's 1-0 Caps. And with this goal, Ovechkin actually ties the NHL record with most career power play goals, tying Dave Andreychuk with 274. That is nuts. That is absolutely nuts. 274 power play goals across his now 17-year career. Now, this would be the score for about the next 10 minutes when a very interesting sequence takes place. With about 6 minutes to go, the Hawks are on a 2-man advantage, with Seth Jones keeping it in the zone, and he gives it across to Kubalik, which he doesn't shoot. He holds on to it, and he gets it right up to Kane, and then it's a cross-ice pass right to the stick of DeBrincat, and he passes it through Samsonov and into the net, and it's 1-1 with the 2-man advantage goal from Alex DeBrincat, as that is as a perfect setup. And look, it's a 2-man advantage. The Caps have only 3 men on. You expect to score a lot of those goals when you are given the opportunity, and they delivered. Literally about 15 seconds later, Kirby Dach has a rush on the power play, which, with the 2-man advantage with them scoring, they still had a full power play to go through, and this was really early on it. Kirby Dach now moves in with the puck, moves in, tries to shoot, doesn't quite go in, but then there's another Hawk over there that's able to make a play. He was one of our stars last season, has had a rough season this year, but he gets his first goal here. It's Philip Kurashev scoring for the first time in 2021. And that is a big goal, as he takes the puck, actually bats it, as he himself is standing behind the goal line, reaches out his stick and is able to get enough of a tap to beat Samsonov. And the Hawks lead 2-1 with another power play marker from Philip Kurashev. Literally another 15 seconds later, it's Jonathan Toews in the corner battling with the puck. He squeaks away with it, gets a pass to Brandon Hagel. He fires it on Samsonov, and he makes the save. But right in front of Samsonov and there to make the play is Mackenzie Entwistle, who moves in front, puts the backhand in the net, and the Hawks have scored 3 goals in 34 seconds. Are you kidding me? My mind was blown after this sequence. 34 seconds was all it took for the Hawks to take a 3-1 lead. 2 power play goals and a 5-on-5 net marker. And are you kidding me? 3 goals in 34 seconds are that is unbelievable. Look, the Hawks were victim to some of the score effects last season. And to see it go our way, especially against a team like the Washington Capitals, is pretty crazy. Not to mention this team's power play unit has struggled as of late. So seeing them get 2 power play goals in this sequence is also very nice to boost our power play numbers. But before the period ends, it's Daniel Sprong who gets it back. Before the period ends, it's Daniel Sprong who wins a puck battle behind the net. Starts to come out and just, I don't know what the Hawks defense is doing, but he just walks up, turns around, and fires a shot on Fleury, and it beats him. And so it's 3-2 going into intermission, but the Hawks still lead after 2 thanks to 3 goals in 34 seconds. To be honest, I have no idea what this team was doing here on this play, is because Daniel Sprong was looking like he was going to pass, but instead he turns around and pulls a quick shot, and it ends up beating Fleury. It's a bit of a tough angle shot, but he puts it in anyways. And, well, that's what good teams do. They find ways to score in situations like this when they're down. And, well, they put up another one right there. So the second period has 5 goals. Alex Ovechkin tying and Dave Andreychuk for the most power play goals in NHL history. The Hawks score 3 goals in 34 seconds, and then Daniel Sprong scores in the last minute. What else can you ask from a 20-minute period? What a period. And the Hawks leave the second period up 3-2. The third period gets off to a pretty slow start as there's no goals here in the first 10 minutes. Samsonov and Fleury were able to collect themselves and shut the door for 10 minutes. But with about 8 minutes to go, the Caps start a rush, and it's Lars Eller who then tries to pass it, but it ends up not really going anywhere, and it finds his stick again, and as he's falling, he gets his stick on the puck, and it beats Fleury somehow, and Lars Eller ties the game. Not sure exactly what happened here, but TJ Oshie gets it back to Lars Eller somehow, and, well, Lars Eller ties the game, and, I mean, that was just a good play by Eller. I mean, he was falling down. Honestly, he could have gotten penalized, or he could have drawn a penalty, but he didn't. He actually scored anyway, so, I mean, if he did get penalized, it doesn't even matter. With about 5 minutes to go in the game, Hawks are on the power play, and Kane has it near the blue line. He gets a pass up close to the goal line for Dylan Strome, who then finds Brandon Hagel, who's moving in. It looks like he might shoot from the slot. He doesn't. He passes it to Alex to break it, who snipes it past Samsonov, and the Hawks lead 4-3 with 5 minutes to go in the game. What a goal and a great sequence on the power play for this team. They are now have 3 power play goals on the night. And the Hawks get a big goal late in the game with only 5 minutes to go. In a tie game, the Hawks are able to put one in the back of the net, something they have struggled to do all season. And man, 5 minutes to go in the game. The Hawks defense needs to kill just 5 minutes of clock. And we walk out of here with a victory, and the Caps will get a goose egg on the scoreboard. And then the Hawks are killing the clock. It slowly drops. Samsonov goes to the bench. The goalie is pulled. It's a 6-on-5 for the Caps. They got the empty net. Time continues to tick down. They're under 30 seconds. And then it's under 10 seconds. And then Alex Ovechkin takes a loose puck. Tries to set up one final chance. Passes it back to Carlson, who fires it on Fleury. And Daniel Sprong. No, actually, Connor Sheary puts it in the back of the net. And with under 5 seconds to go, the Hawks surrender a goal, and the game is headed to overtime. Connor Sheary ties the game with 3 seconds to go in the game. And, well, the Hawks, it's shades of what we did against the Islanders. Islanders scored a late goal to tie the game. The Hawks ended up coming out with the win in that game, but that was the Islanders. This is the Washington Capitals. It's not going to be so easy. This team is going to have to dig deep if they want to get this victory. I mean, there's many ways that you could point this game into the direction of a loss in overtime, as they had the 3 goals in 34 seconds, which was an amazing sequence. But who knows if we don't score those 3 goals, how many goals we would have actually scored if we scored maybe only 1 or maybe 2 of those goals instead of the 3. And so you can point it and say, hey, this team's going to lose. We're also being outshot a ton at this point in the game. So it's going to take a lot, and we're going to have to dig deep to get this victory. And we may have to go to a shootout to get the W. But about a minute and 15 seconds into overtime, Patrick Kane wrestles a Caps defender off the puck, and it finds the stick of Kirby Dach, who finds an odd man rush, and he holds onto the puck. Who is with Kirby Dach on this 2-on-1 odd rush? Caleb Jones, Seth Jones' brother, actually. And Kirby Dach has this puck on the 2-on-1. And Kirby Dach is definitely known for passing, overshooting all the time. Just will not shoot the puck when he has a good chance. He's always looking for a passing lane. But this time he shoots the puck, actually. And Samsonov makes the save. But Caleb Jones is streaking in, and he is able to tap the puck just enough to cross the line and score! Caleb Jones, his first goal with the Hawks, is an overtime winner to beat the Washington Capitals. And the Hawks win an outstanding game filled with so many events and crazy moments. The hero in this game is probably the most unlikely hero. It's Caleb Jones to win the game in overtime. The Hawks win 5-4 in overtime. What a game this was. First off, you have Ovechkin tying the all-time power play record. Then you have 3 goals in 34 seconds. Then you have a power play goal to take the lead in the third period after the Caps score twice to get them tied back. Then you have a goal in the last 5 seconds to tie the game. And then you have one of the most unlikely heroes to win said game in overtime. Top it all off for the underdogs winning in improbable fashion in front of their home fans. Just an absolutely fantastic game. Oh my goodness, I have no words for what just happened. I am seriously speechless. That was an unbelievable effort by everyone on the team. Such a team victory. I cannot give enough props to this team for pulling out this victory. They are riding high right now, and next, oh boy, it's the Nashville Predators at home. That is a must-win game. Can they finally break this trend, this curse? At this point, it's starting to become a curse of loss, win, loss, win, loss, win. If they could do it against the Nashville Predators, that would be like amazing to break it and go back on another winning streak. So next, the Hawks have a back-to-back against the Predators at home, and then on the road in Dallas to play the Stars. And then it's the Florida Panthers back in the UC. Well, the Hawks have been playing pretty well. They've played well against some pretty tough competition, but at the same time, they've also played really bad against some good competition. We don't know what Hawks team we're going to show up. That's going to show up. But if the last month has showed us anything, it's going to be a loss here because they seem to lose and then they win and then they lose. It's just a constant, doesn't matter who they're playing, they win or lose, alternating. So, I mean, until his streak is broken, we know the result of pretty much every single game from here on out. And, well, that means we're going to lose against Nashville if this trend continues. But obviously, Hawks fans are wishing for the streak to end and against none other than the Nashville Predators and to get a winning streak back. That would be the dream. So, yeah, all in all, a fantastic game filled with drama, filled with everything you'd want from a hockey game. This honestly had the feeling of a playoff game, despite this game being between not only an Eastern Conference and another Western Conference team, but the stadium was packed for a game between a really good team and a team that's not so good, but at least they're not the Coyotes. But the house was packed. And this is the effect that the Hawks have. No matter how good or bad they are, they will sell out crowds. Obviously, that long streak of selling out the UC ended this season, but the place is continuously being packed and just, oh my goodness, what a victory. What a game. What a great game. It's getting dark out. I got to end the video here before I lose light. That's going to do it for me. If you liked it, hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you really liked it and like to see more content and reactions from me. And, well, I'll see you guys next time. Take care, everyone.